Hello and welcome to a Traveling Knitter podcast. My name is Steph and I'm podcasting to you from downtown Columbus, Ohio. It is Sunday, June 21st, and it is a hot one. I was outside running today and I think it was 91 degrees. It was hot. My nose is going to be red in this podcast because it is itching like crazy. I can't tell if it's allergies or not because normally when my allergies are acting up, my throat itches really bad, and right now it doesn't itch at all, but oh man, does my nose itch. Okay, let's jump into what I've been knitting. I do have a half object, not a completed object, but we do have socks. So these are the Intersections by Marceline Smith. These are in the Lina 52 Weeks of Sock book, and I knit these on out of a Regia Perfect. And it's the color 07096, so it's a gradient. These are knit toe up, and I think you can tell because of how the cuff flares. This always happens, your cuff flares. At least I feel like it always happens. This is my first ever toe up sock, but yeah. When I wear them though, it's fine, right? You put them on and they expand because I have really large calves. These also, they look really weird because they look like the foot is really long, but they fit perfect. Heel is pretty big in my opinion, but again, it fits fine. So the leg ended up being really short. And here's where I was at last time. And now we are here. Technically, I knit this whole thing to the heel, but I had to rip it all back out because I realized I had been knitting the pattern on the bottom of the foot. Like I just said, I always knit cuff down socks. So you do your pattern, then you do your heel, and then pattern on top and straight stockinette on the bottom. So I forgot. It was kind of annoying. Like I was about to get to the heel and then I was like, oh, I have pattern on the bottom. Dang it. So yeah, I had to unwind or frog all of that, and now we're back to here, basically to the toe. I lost steam once I realized what I had done, because otherwise I was kind of on track to have completed object, a finished pair of socks. And then I was just kind of sad that I'd wasted all that knitting time. But it's okay. We're back to working on it. And maybe this will be what I finish for the next podcast. Maybe. We've got some good contenders. The next thing that I've been working on is the 3-color cashmere cowl by Joji Locatelli. And look at all that progress. So I'm in the first section, and I've got just a little bit more to go in the light gray again, and then to switch back to the dark gray. And then after that, I move to a new section. This is definitely a fast project. If you're looking for something beautiful, quick, look to this. The 3-color cashmere cowl. It's easy, yet all of the projects that I've seen with this, it looks so good. It's beautiful. And funny story, I first started watching knitting podcasts when the grocery girls did their 3-color cashmere cowl cow. So I've wanted to knit this pattern pretty much since then. And I purchased this yarn at my very first Stitches Midwest. I've gone twice. I'm probably gonna go this year. I think last year I didn't go? I feel like it was last year is when I had to skip. My hair is everywhere. But this year they have moved the date, so it's gonna be the first weekend in September rather than the first weekend in August. So I think I should be able to go if it still happens. But this yarn is from Sun Valley Fibers, and I'm pretty sure this is the colorways. I have the names, but I can't remember what order they're in, but I'm pretty sure the light gray is Kent. The dark gray is Smoke Signals, which is actually, it's got some depth to it, almost like a purple. And then the main pop of color in the 3-color cashmere cowl will be this guy, which is Cheeky. This was purchased as a kit for the 3-color cashmere cowl, so I shouldn't run out of yarn. I'm really liking knitting on this though. It's really relaxing. It goes by really quick. It is in the round, but you know, it's not giant. And this is the other project that I thought I might have finished by the next podcast. Because I'm enjoying knitting on this more than the socks. And it's so soft. It does have cashmere in it. It's in a freckled whimsy bag. It's got little foxes on it. This one is a bit dirty because I used to travel with this guy because it had a handle. It has some face mask that I just can't get off. I've washed it several times, but oh well. The next project is in this really awesome bag, and it's my Soldotna Crop. And I'm gonna hopefully show this to you without pulling it off of pulling it off the needles. But I have split for the sleeves. So there it is. It is kind of looking a bit Christmassy, but we'll see. You know, maybe all of this will end up toning it down. It looks great though. Really good. So I've got, basically I have the body to do and then the sleeves to knit, which the sleeves aren't very long, so that shouldn't take much time really at all. And then I'll be able to cast on a new sweater. So the Soldotna Crop is by Caitlin Hunter. And I was right up here, so several rows before splitting for the sleeve. And now we're we're not well, but we're into the body. The last project that I put work in is Andrew Mowry's Birds of a Feather. and she has a thing for starting off patterns in this shape where it's like a thong. I have done the first 2 sections and now I'm on to the third. Basically, I just started. I am very excited to have this. I'll be honest, it hasn't been the most fun thing to knit because you're doing increases on both sides and it's making my stitches kind of wonky. So I feel like I'm constantly fixing stuff in a way that I'm basically fudging it. The yarn that I'm using, it's Teal Torch Knits, and I've got the ugliest looking ball of yarn here. I don't know, I was having some problems with my yarn winder the other day. So we've got the fluff and the sock base, and this one is A Sunday Kind of Love, and this one is Sinking in My Soul. And though there's really no purple in this, it's like a blue jean and a pink, I just thought the purple would probably look awesome with it. So that's that. Birds of a Feather originally appeared in Lina magazine, and this is Lina magazine number 2. I love pattern books or collections of patterns. I have an entire shelf dedicated to patterns, pattern books. I also just bought, I bought 2 or 3 of the Making Stories books, and then I need to order the Making Stories magazine, the most recent one. But I wanted to order some yarn along with it, and I have not really ordered yarn in a very long time. I've been trying to not spend money on yarn because my stash is, it's getting out of hand. Like it's out of hand. But anyway, so I love pattern books, and there's just something about knitting out of a pattern book. I get just, it's hard to explain, but I just have extreme desires to knit everything inside of books. And so obviously I'm working on the Birds of a Feather, but I want to knit everything. So this one has the Utu, which is a cardigan that has leaves, and it's knit out of a gradient kit, which they advertise the gradient kit right here. And I like this. I like this a lot. But the gradient kit that they used is minis. And you purchase like 5 sets of the mini set, which, I don't know, that's expensive, because I feel like mini sets are, you know, around $10-ish for each one. So let's say you're spending 40 bucks on a mini set, and then I have to buy 5 of them. And I mean, I'm saying that for my size, and I luckily don't have to purchase a ton of yarn to make sweaters for myself. So I don't know, that seems pretty expensive for a pattern that I like, but I'm not like, this is the best thing that I've ever seen in my life, right? Like, I really like it. I don't know. This one also has a dress, the Uho. Wait, is that the exact same? What's the first one? Utu. And then this is UJO. Uho? Ujo? I don't know. But it is a dress. And I like sweater dresses. I I have one sweater dress that is like a ready-to-wear purchased in a store, and I wear it all the time because it looks fancy without me having to do much else, and they're so comfy. So I'd really be down to knit that. What else is in this one? So there's a wrap, which I can't tell what this looks like. I will say, my complaint with the Lina magazines is the pictures are gorgeous, but I can't tell what this is. I know it's a wrap, and I can see there's some sort of detailing here, but I can't tell what that is. I'm pretty sure it's different yarn, and that's the only picture you get. You immediately go to this sweater, which is also really nice. It's got some details, drop shoulder. This reminds me, this is the construction that my willow sweater is in. But I really like that. So I could knit that. And then I've got a pattern called Invincible Summer, which looks like this, which I would also wear. And then we have Morning Fog, which is a cardigan that I think is maybe knit out of lace weight at a larger gauge to make it airy. Could also see me wearing that. Then we have Unda, which is a brioche shawl, which looks gorgeous. I love the not really high contrast of it. And then Birkin, which aside from Birds of a Feather is probably the most popular pattern in here, probably the second most. I like the Birkin. I don't like the color. I have seen one where they just did, I think they just did white and then black as the detailing. I really like that, so I might do that. And then we have Blumst, which are some socks. Would totally knit those. And those are the patterns, right? Like, I would knit every single one of those patterns, and I would love to do that. Yeah, I do own all of the Lina magazines. I have so many pattern books. I thought if there's enough interest, or even if there's not, maybe I'll do it anyway, I might do a video where I go through all of the pattern books that I own. Because like I said, I think I probably have close to 100, maybe 70. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot there. I have a lot. I have kind of donated. I went on I think I donated like 10 or 15 when I moved to Goodwill, but yeah, if you're interested, that could be something I could do, is go through the pattern books magazines that I have. Speaking of pattern magazines, I did receive my next issue of Pom-Pom Magazine. This one doesn't excite me. It doesn't excite me. Spring and summer knits normally are not my favorite. I have been liking them more recently. But looking at this, I don't know, it's probably the thing that I'm most excited about is this guy, except it's crochet. I know how to crochet, but I'm just not very good at it. And this had, how many crochet things are in here? Yeah, there's 3 crochet patterns in here. I don't remember Pom-Pom having that many crochet projects in here. So I'm a bit disappointed in this. And I mean, Pom-Pom is not cheap. It's like 20 bucks. But either way, so it has that cardigan, or the tank that I showed you. It has this, which I don't know. I feel like it's just like, look at my butt. At least that's how I feel if I wore this, is what it's gonna do. I also am not a fan of the frilly sleeves. Then we have a shawl, which I like shawls. It's rare where I'm like, ew, ugly shawl, but yeah, so there's a shawl, which I like that. And then we have another crochet top. I don't know, it reminds me of the 90s in a bad way. It looks dated to me. We've got Sun Wake, which I like. I like this. This is a tank top. And we have another shawl, which there's a better picture than that of this shawl. There. And that's called Heliotropic. Then we have Filament, which, oh, it's really dark. Oh, it's because of looking at the magazine. Filament, I don't like this. This looks like early 90s in a bad way. And then there's a purse, which it's just boring. And then this tank top is pretty interesting. It's called Kupala. It's got a fringe. So here's the back, here's the front. Like, it's interesting, but I don't know if I would ever wear it. And then the last is, it's just a brioche top. I don't know, it's just boring. The yarn's probably the most exciting part about it. So yeah, if this had been the very, like, okay, this is the very first pom-pom that I have received after signing up for the subscription. If this was like their very first issue, I would cancel. Like, I don't really like anything that's in here. I mean, am I ever gonna knit anything out of here? Honestly, probably not. So that's kind of sad. That's kind of disappointing. So that is the only thing that I've added to Smaug's Trove. But let's go ahead and jump into a novel idea, which is where I talk about the books that I've been reading. And the first one, should I shift? I don't know, what's that? We'll shift over here. So the first novel is called The Proposal, and let me just pull up my Goodreads so that I can get the authors' names. So The Proposal is by Mary Below, and it is the #1 in the Survivors Club. This is about a woman who her husband died 10-ish years ago in some sort of accident. And she herself was in a horse accident, and her leg was never set correctly, so she walks with a permanent limp. And she is visiting a, quote, friend. She's not a friend. After her friend's husband dies, and she's there to, you know, provide companionship or whatever, but really the friend's just kind of bitchy. So she leaves in a huff, our main character, and she's walking along the beach and then decides, you know, I want to get back. What's gonna be the quickest way? What if I climb this cliff? And she falls. Not like down the cliff, but she, you know, she falls, twists her ankle, and our main male character happens to be right there. He had left the house that he was staying at because he's a brooding man and needed some air, and he helps her to that house and, you know, introduces her to everyone that's there. And her ankle is twisted, so she kind of recuperates at the house for like a week or something, And then there's romance between our two main characters. I liked this book. I ended up giving it 3 out of 4 stars. I liked it. The banter was funny, like just the things that they said to each other was funny. It was refreshing that our main character wasn't like she was totally cool to have sex on the beach. That was fine. And then just leave. And what was quite interesting about this one was the proposal happens right at the beginning of the novel, and rather than just saying yes, she says, no, you need to court me. You need to come to all these things, you know, and prove that you want me in your life. Which was funny because, yeah, he has to then go to like some balls and stuff. So that was enjoyable. It is a series. I don't know if I'm going to continue on with the series because I feel like I know who the other characters are going to be about. I don't know. I don't like when I read a book and there's like a whole bunch of other characters and you already know who they're going to be paired off with. I don't care to read about them. I don't care. Not really. I like following a set of characters for the long haul, not just jumping to different couples, which I know a lot of romance books are like that. It's just not my favorite thing. Another romance book that I read, gotta shift over, is My Bestie's Ex. One, I hate the name of this. I don't like the term bestie, unless you're saying it in a sarcastic way. That's the only time that I will say bestie, is if it's sarcastic. I just don't like it in a serious manner. I don't know, it just sounds so stupid. Either way, this is called My Bestie's Ex by Piper Rain, and it is the first in a series called The Rooftop Crew. This book surprised me. I really liked it. I really liked it. So our main character, she has quit her job. Quit or fired? I feel like she quit. I can't remember. In New York City, she was in finance, but really she wants to be a writer. So she's like, what am I gonna do with my life now? And her old best friend, so they kind of grew apart after college, and now I think they met outside, like the day that she quit. And her friend's like, no, come, you know, move in with me. We just had a room open up because our roommate just left. And, you know, you could get a job at this magazine and all that. So she ends up moving in and she gets a job with that magazine. But on her trip to moving in, she meets a dude on the subway. Her family lives in New York City, and she then is now living in like a suburb of New York City. And so she meets this dude and they really hit it off, and I'm not outwardly romantic, but internally, this is how I want to meet someone. Just sitting on the subway and noticing this dude, and he's not, well, he is kind of being a little creepy, but being nice, has food, there's jokes. Yeah, so anyway, she continues to meet, she, you know, goes to work, and then, oh my gosh, what do you know? He also works at her magazine. So yeah, he has a rule where he doesn't like to date coworkers, and he's like fixated on it, but obviously we dropped that rule after, I don't know, 50 pages. But it was just really cute. I really liked it. And of course, it's no secret, you figure it out pretty quickly because the author drops lots of hints. But the mystery man that she met on the subway is in fact her roommate's ex-boyfriend, who I mean, there's a lot of feelings there. But I really, really liked it. I am going to continue on with this one because Yeah, I really liked it, and you don't really, one of the characters you don't meet, but I know that that's going to be one of the stories. And then yeah, I feel like talking more is just going to give it away. My nose is just so red. There's going to be so many cuts in this because it itches so bad. So bad. It's like there's just permanent fluff here. Okay, so then the next book that I read is called The Prince and the Dressmaker, and this is by Jen Wong, and this is a graphic novel, and it was so cute. Oh, did I say what? I gave the other one 4 out of 5. This one I also gave 4 out of 5. It was so cute. It's about this dressmaker who, she's kind of toiling away in a shop, and someone comes in, and or a mom and a daughter come in, and the daughter's like, I don't want to go to this stupid ball. Make me something that makes me look like the devil or something. And so she makes pants, essentially. If you've seen Downton Abbey and Sybil, she gets the dressmaker to make her something different. It's kind of like that, but red. So yeah. And then other people notice, one of them being the prince. And there's a whole thing there, but basically it's about identity and love and acceptance. The artwork's really nice. The story's really good. It was good. I read it in one night. Like on a Thursday night, I think, just in bed. And then the last book that I finished is called So You Want to Talk About Race by Ijima Oluo, or it's Ijeoma. I'm not going to rate any of these style books that I'm reading because the way that I rate books, I rate them based on entertainment. And that doesn't fit with this. So I'm not going to be rating these books. But this book is about, I mean, it's partly about Ijeoma's life and the racism that she deals with, and just explaining situations like that, and then really how you can talk about race and how you shouldn't talk about it. So yeah, I listened to it on audiobook. I found it very powerful, and there are moments where you're just like, no, people aren't like that, are they? Like, she talks of, and I see this repeated in books that I read or listen to where they, like, a woman of color will say, don't touch my hair. I didn't realize that was a thing. Like, why are people touching other people's hair? I don't know, that seems so weird to me. I touch my own hair, but that's just because, I don't know, that's just what I do. Honestly, don't think that would ever cross my mind to go touch someone else's hair. Yeah. Yeah, but that was a part, and then they talked about, or she talked about, you know, not like, almost like mansplaining. Is white-splaining a thing? White-splaining sounds weird, but almost like mansplaining, where someone is telling you all about something because they've read an article or watched a movie, telling you about something that directly affects you. So yeah, and I think too, they probably just, it's a topic, right, to talk about, to discuss. And the people that she had mentioned, they probably didn't even realize what they were doing or saying sounded so idiotic. Kind of like mansplaining. I think I'm just gonna liken it to that. Because I felt like it was very similar. Yeah. Okay, itchy nose. So those are the books that I have been reading. I am halfway through one book. I am a third of the way through of another book, and then I am just started on another one. So I should have quite a lot more read on the next podcast. And the next segment is where I highlight a woman of color, or a black woman. I struggle with deciding how I want to identify someone, because I read on the internet where I've read where it says, I am not a woman of color, I am a black woman. And then there's a lot of places where it's just a woman of color or BIPOC. And I don't want to offend anyone with any of the terminology that I'm using, but it seems like, and I'm sure that's like with everyone, like me personally, I don't like to be called lady. I just don't like that word, lady. I'm okay with someone saying I'm a girl. Woman is fine too. But lady, I just don't like that. And obviously a lot of people like that. Like when I was in high school, we were called the lady dogs. Because we're bulldogs. So, I mean, it wasn't like everyone called us lady dogs, but you could say, oh, the lady dogs. I just don't like that. I don't like that. Or let's go, ladies. Just say let's go. I don't like that. Either way, the black woman I would like to highlight today is an artist, and she has an Instagram account, a Twitter account, and a YouTube account. She also has an Etsy store and a blog. And let me get over to her. There we go. She goes by Danny, but her name is Danielle. She lives in Trinidad and Tobago, and she does fairy-esque artwork. And it's awesome. Let me just show you. I don't know how to like insert like recorded clips yet, but, or we could just do this. So here is that, can we see that? So this is a fairy portrait she did. And then there's another one, another one. So she does watercolor artwork. I love this. This is bacteria. Look how awesome that is. I want this. So she does, she also has a thing for mushrooms. I mean, isn't that amazing? She also did last year in October, I guess it's like a thing to do, cut out paper. I mean, so awesome. So there's a mushroom. It's like a heart. Oh, I love it so much. So she, there's nothing in her Etsy store right now, but she also, where are they? Oh, and here she is. Where are they? I mean, right? Like the colors are so vibrant. Oh, this is Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius, so I like that. Oh. She has a, yeah, this is like earrings she made with zodiac signs. So cool. She does also have stickers every now and then. That's what I was hoping to buy, were stickers that she does. So she turns her art prints into stickers, and I'm a big sticker fan. So there's her jewelry. I mean, I think this is just awesome. I love the colors. I really like the mushroom-esque stuff that she's doing. That is awesome. She does, she puts them on like small cards, which awesome. Big fan. Yeah, so I would highly recommend giving her a follow if you liked any of that artwork. I think it's awesome. She is Miss Danny G. I will put her information down below, but it's MS_DANIG. So I'll put that below for you to give her a follow. She is pretty small, which I'm probably not going to just stick to small, but she has less than 2,000 followers. She's so close to 2,000, so hopefully that happens for her soon. But man, I think I still can't get over the bacteria. It's just so awesome. That's what I was hoping to. Oh yeah, here's an example of the stickers, right? So she just does them individually. Okay, what's been happening in my life other than my nose turning red like Rudolph? Do we see what finally arrived? My couch arrived. That's right, it came, and the people who brought it were really awesome. So I was a little nervous because when you read, so delivery, right, originally I had planned to purchase a couch right when I moved, but then obviously COVID was happening and I could not get a couch delivered. So I waited, and then finally they opened up to contactless entryway delivery. And so I picked that because it was the only option I had, and then the couch kept getting delayed. So yeah, I got it essentially a month after I had purchased it, and it was in stock. So I really don't understand what took so long, especially because when I ordered it, it was supposed to arrive the next week, and then it just kept getting delayed. But either way, it's probably COVID. That's probably the reason why. So then I got the notification finally that it was going to be arriving tomorrow and that I needed to confirm the delivery. So I ended up calling All Modern. That's where I ordered this from, is from All Modern. And I called customer service because I just wanted clarification on what delivery was going to be like. Because if I haven't said it before, I live on the 9th floor of a apartment building in downtown Columbus. So there are a couple elevators, but the elevators are small, so you can't really, the couch wasn't going to fit in the elevator, so it would need to be in the service elevator. But again, I just wanted to know, what's the definition of entryway? Like, are they going to just bring it into the main room of the apartment building? And if that's the case, that was gonna suck, because the couch weighs 170 pounds. That is more than what I weigh, and it came in 2 boxes. And so in the end she said, nope, they'll bring it in and they'll actually take it up those 9 flights and we'll leave it in your immediate entry. Well, my apartment entry is really small, so the couch wasn't gonna fit. So they actually brought it into my living room for me, which was great. They were younger, 2 guys, younger, and they were really nice. You know, they're in a good mood. They were joking around. Once we got up here, they asked, you know, can we look out your window? I was like, yeah, totally. And I kind of like pointed out some of the cool features that you could see from here, like how my bus stop has been moved. Yeah, so I found there was a bus stop right below here, and it's actually been moved to the next street over. So it's just across the street now. And the only reason why I know that is because I went on a run today. So I'm loving having a couch. It's been so nice. It's nice to just be able to like kick my feet up. It's good, it's good, I love it. Yeah, so I'm just really happy to have the couch finally. I had not planned to go 3 months of quarantine without a couch, but it happened. I also bought a lot of plants. I think I have 28 plants now in basically only 2 rooms because my bedroom doesn't have any windows. It has a loft barn door, so that's code. If you were unaware, all bedrooms must have 2 exits. So that's why, to be qualified as a bedroom, you almost always have to have a window. I do not have a window, but I do have a sliding barn door, which then brings you into the living room. I don't plan to ever open the sliding barn door. But yeah, that's why I do have, that's why it's a bedroom, because there's 2 exits. Anyway, no plants in there because 0 sunlight in the bedroom. Most of the plants are right like against this wall, and I do have some on the shelves. But yeah, there's a lot of plants and I love it and I want more. But we're getting to the point where I don't know where to put them anymore. I went to a nursery in Columbus and I really liked it. I forget what it's called, but there will be clips of me there, and there were a lot of people there. Yeah. What else? Oh, have you ever heard of Strictly Dumpling? He's a YouTuber. I feel like he's pretty well known. Like, he's got hundreds of thousands of hundreds of thousands of subscribers. He's been on the Try Guys, which is actually where I found him, or where I was introduced to him. But he eats so much, like he eats so much. So obviously with, you know, quarantine and stuff, he can't go to like all these restaurants, and he would typically be traveling abroad and eat a ton of food in all these different places. So he can't really do that. So he did a video where he ate or tried all the instant noodles that he has, which made me really want instant noodles. So I went to the Asian food market that's here, or one of them. God, my nose. Saraga. Let me look it up. It's called Saraga International Grocery. And my friend told me that one of the restaurants inside of it was actually featured on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Not my favorite show. I'll be honest, I've never been a Guy Fieri fan, though there's a petition to change the name of Columbus to Flavortown, and thousands of people have signed it. I kind of understand the desire to change the name of the city, but I don't want it to be called Flavortown. No. And like I said, I've never been a big fan of Guy Fieri. But anyway, yeah, so I went there and I bought 5 different kinds of instant noodles. The first one was kind of boring. The second one was so good. That's what I had last night. Tonight, I'm gonna have the sesame flavored one. Yeah, it's been pretty fun to just eat ramen noodles every day. I was looking for some specific ones. He had it was like a slimy one. I think it was from Taiwan. I wanted that, but I couldn't find it. And then he also had another one that's like really popular in China right now, and it's almost like a tomato based one, and he said that one was really good too. I couldn't find that one. Oh well. I mean, it's not like I bought every single one of them. I limited myself to 5. And then yesterday I went to Half Price Books, bought some books, and then I also went to Brassica and I had lunch inside Brassica. So this is the first time that I've had lunch inside of a restaurant in 3 months, and it's like calling Chipotle a restaurant. It's like that. So fast food, but not in the sense of McDonald's fast food. It was nice. I sat and I read my book and I ate my food, and yeah, and then I came home. So that's what I've been doing. I had a friend come over for dinner. I basically have limited the people who can come over are the ones that like live by themselves. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I've done. Now on to the giveaway. Now, okay. I had every intention of pulling a winner today, but I still don't have the yarn. It's still not here. I don't have any shipping information for it either. So I don't know if it's even been shipped yet. I thought it was ready to ship because there were some colorways that were sold out and then others that weren't. So I'm not really sure what's happening there. And I thought it would be kind of stupid to draw the winner when I don't even have the prize yet. I really did think I would have it by now because the dyer is in Cleveland and I'm in Columbus. It's 2 hours max to get here. I just got a package from my mom. She dropped it off at the post office on Thursday and I got it on Friday. So, yeah, not really sure what's happening there. So I am gonna extend the giveaway by an additional 2 weeks. So if you were unaware or forgot or whatever, you can enter to win a full skein of Destination Yarns in the Rustic Barn colorway, which is a colorway based off of the barns that you find in Ohio. So to enter, all you need to do is be a subscriber of the podcast, and you need to be a member of the Ravelry group, which I will provide the link below for you, and you just need to answer the question that I have there in the group. And then I will pull a random person out of the thread. I'll use a random number generator and then I'll mail it out to you. That, I think, is it. My nose is so itchy. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching the podcast. If you have any questions, let me know. Just put them down below. You can message me. If you'd like to follow me on all the social medias, I am a traveling knitter podcast on Instagram as well as Ravelry. My personal account is Lulu is Crazy, both Ravelry and Instagram. And if you are interested about my book thoughts, I'm Lulu is Crazy on Goodreads as well. If you've never heard of Goodreads, just type it into your browser and be amazed. It'll be the best thing you've seen all day. All right, thank you so much, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.